Good evening, Drew.
Oh, oh.
How you doing, buddy?
It's a Thursday, my dude. Boy, my eyes lit up when I saw how much content you added to our doc today.
It's going to be a Paul heavy episode. I apologize in advance.
No, the episodes I feel are sometimes a little too Drew heavy, so I think this is gonna be pretty good.
Oh.
Before we dive into anything though, any updates?
I want to talk about the headphones, the Koss KPH 30IKs. Okay, so take this journey with me, Drew. Take this journey with me.
I'm ready.
Okay, so I post the episode and I wait a day and then I start posting stuff to Twitter like, hey, I want to get these headphones to Drew. What color should I get him? Should I get him the gray? Should I get him the blue and white? Did a Twitter poll. The poll was closer than I thought, but blue and white won. All of the feedback I got via like people responding to the poll was all blue and white. I got an email about this, and actually, I want to read you a little bit of this. This is from Best of the Show, Nick Dunn. So he says basically he bought a pair of these as well. He's been using them. They'll surprise you and make you question all of your previous audio equipment purchases. Okay, and then he also said like, hey, I should get Drew the white and blue. Because once he is done being frustrated with how surprisingly decent they sound, he can then be frustrated about how terrible they look. And I thought that was genius. So it's
yeah,
genius.
that's pretty good. I'm really glad that Nick's looking out for me. That's
okay. So I made up my mind Wednesday evening. I was going to buy you a pair of the blue and white headphones.
Okay.
So I put it off to this morning, right? So this morning I go onto Amazon, I pull up the listing, and guess what, Drew?
They're sold out.
They're no longer available. Or they're sold out. I like to believe they're just sold out because, I have created this, this huge demand for these headphones, but the blue and white aren't available for sale anymore.
They're just gone. Like there's no listing.
Gone. Like yeah, not even in the listing at all. Just gone, poof, gone. So I felt like this was the universe giving me a giant FU. But you know what? I was not deterred. I'm like, well, you know what? The gray, that's what I have. So I ordered you a pair of gray Koss KPH 30IK headphones, and they should be delivered to your house tomorrow. And we can talk about what you think of them next week.
So just to be clear, I am still getting a pair of headphones.
Oh, yes, they are ordered.
Okay, all right. Well, that's all I really kind of care about. Okay.
They're ordered. They're not blue and white. They're gray. But, yeah, but for this weekend, you will have them. And, you'll have to...
Now,
next episode, you have to give us your review.
So here's what I'm going to use them for. I'm not going to use them for music right away. What I want to use them for is I want to hook them up to the Dingus, the video game Dingus.
Oh, okay.
So do they have a 3.5 millimeter jack, or they got the big boy?
That's the little one. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's a little one.
Wait, is that 3.5 millimeter? I don't know.
It's a small one. I think the big one's 1/4 inch.
Okay, so
yeah,
that's interesting. So I have to try to find an adapter because if I want to hook these up to one of my good amps, all my amps have the big boy slot.
Yeah.
So I gotta find one of those step down or adapters or whatever they're called so I can hook it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm
sure. Yeah. Well, that's your problem.
Right. You only get me so far. Well, now I got to go look for... Oh, you know what? I just found one. I have one.
There you go.
Crisis averted. Crisis averted.
Of course you have one. I have 40. Maybe not 40, 5.
Well, I got a weird one here. I'll just take a picture of it, but it's it's the fat boy, right? It's the fat long boy. And it has the end to plug the smaller one into, but it looks like something screws into that end.
So I have one adapter that came with my the headphones I usually wear, my Oppo PM3s, and it came with a bespoke a 1/4-inch adapter, I think, that screws on so it doesn't like you can't just pull it off.
right.
So
Well,
yeah.
so while we're on the subject of Amazon purchases, you wanna hear my big purchases
I do.
this week? Okay, hold on. I gotta sign in because I don't know why I'm not signed in here. Hang on.
Amazon's been citing me out a lot recently, so
I'll be frank. I haven't really ordered much from Amazon in the past couple weeks. Not necessarily because I don't want to. It's just I haven't had anything I needed. Okay, so there's been a comedy of errors in my house regarding various shaving implements.
okay.
All right, so I'm shaving the shower guy.
Okay.
I shave my beard. Well, I shave my face. I don't have a beard. I shave my face and my head in the shower. We've talked before about my implement for shaving my head. Well,
sure
that fell and it broke.
Oh no.
I mean, it's plastic crap, and I'm surprised it sort of survived as long as it did. It's just plastic. The inside of it's kind of hollow, and like the piece that has the razor blade. I'm going to do a really bad job of explaining this, but the part that holds the actual razor is like on this big plastic stick that like you push into the body of this thing, and then like that's the part that has wheels and like the finger grip that you then run over your head. Well, when it fell, a piece of that interior plastic like broke off or something. So now like when I'm running it over my head, there's like a 48% chance that my hand goes one way and the razor blade goes the other. Not great. Not great. Yeah. So
especially with the razor blade, yeah.
Yeah. And like I tried gluing it with super glue, but the problem is it's designed to have a little bit of play because it has to like tilt kind of like around your skull, right? It's not designed to stay in one position. It's designed to move. So gluing it essentially
contours. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So gluing it essentially ruined it. So I had to order a new one of those. So I have a new head blade coming my way. I just ordered I ordered this one. I went with a different color this time. It's going to call this Drew's Shaving Corner. I ordered this.
Okay.
Right? I ordered that. But while I was here,
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's stop for 1 second.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So, if I just saw this picture and had no context,
okay,
I would assume it was some sort of like space age snowmobile.
Yeah, it looked well. Funny enough, right? If you take your mouse and you sort of mouse over like the third picture there.
Yeah.
So the thing that looks like it should have handlebars, like that's where one of your fingers goes. This thing is way smaller than it looks. Way smaller than it
is. It
yeah.
is.
Yeah, so like if you look at the picture of the dude or I think it's a lady, maybe it's a lady. I don't know.
It's a lady.
I'm being very gender normative by the shape of the fingernails, but it's very small, and one of your fingers is designed to go to what appears to be the handlebars, and another finger goes on where the seat would be, and then on the bottom of it, there's like that trackball looking thing. That's the part that like you drive over your head, like that's the part that like that little ball goes across your head, and then the razor blade is behind it. It works. It works wonderfully. It makes shaving your head incredibly easy. And the cartridges, they hold up pretty good. I mean, the hair on your head is, well, I mean, maybe the hair on your head. I mean, I don't have a lot of hair on my head anymore. But like, if I go more than like 2 or 3 days without shaving my head, I have to clipper it, because just asking this to shave my head results in a lot of razor burn and like a ruined shaving cartridge. Like it's not designed to bushwhack through like stubble that is more than a couple millimeters long. Like you need to have thin hair already before you start running this over your scalp. Now the nice thing is, like, I don't all I do is I wash my hair, or I wash my head. I don't have hair anymore. I wash my head, and then while it's still kind of soapy, that's when I run this thing across it. So I don't use shaving cream on my head.
Okay.
And it works out pretty good. And I ordered orange. I got an orange one of these because it was in stock and I could get by tomorrow, because I can't, like I said, I can't wait too long. But that's not the big purchase. The big purchase is I'm also due for a new safety razor.
Okay.
The
What you
safety
use
razor
for your beard?
Face. I don't have a beard. But
it's to prevent the beard, right? So it's the beard area.
Well, like all things in my life, my beard is stunted. So it grows a little bit, and like you can tell that I have hair on my face, but like unless I let it grow for like 2 months consecutive, I'm never gonna have a beard. It's very weird, and like my beard is red. I don't know. There's a lot going on there.
That's sexy.
Yeah. What does the curtains match the pubes? It's like I don't know, but anyway,
that may be the first use of the word pubes in this podcast.
Well, hey, 65 episodes in, I'm going to call that a victory or a defeat, depending on how you want to look at it.
I think we need to use it more often.
Okay, all right. Yeah, making a note. So the safety razor I have is really, really nasty. Like, it's one of those ones that kind of butterflies open, and you put the blade in, and then you twist the thing and you put it back.
That's exactly what I was picturing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a safety razor, right? And like I've cleaned it. It's stainless steel, so like it gets gummed up with like hair and shaving cream and soap, and because I shave in the shower, right? That's a pretty moist section of my house. So it started to rust a little bit, even though it's stainless steel, which I don't think is supposed to happen. So it's probably not really stainless steel. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it has some rust built up in it, and like I don't think like things that are designed to cut you is designed to be rusty. So I just I think it's time to really start. It's time to start thinking about getting a new safety razor. And over the course of ownership, and this razor is probably 6 years old at this point, so it's really held up because it's metal. And anyway, I've cleaned it with like alcohol. I've cleaned it with like peroxide before to really knock some of that hair out of there, because like I don't know if you use a safety razor, but when you change the blade, which these blades, like kind of the appeal of the safety razor is like the blades are way sharper than any kind of cartridge or wire based thing that you're going to use, and they're exceptionally sharp, and you get such a close shave, and it's way cheaper to replace those blades than it is to buy new cartridges. So, like, it makes a lot of sense on a lot of levels. But, like, when you open that thing up after you've done, I don't know, maybe 6 shaves, there's just lots of little pieces of hair and skin and gunk that's just built up in there. And, you have to scrub it. Like, just running it under warm water doesn't get that stuff out of there. Because, like, good quality shaving creams, like, are designed not to, like, really get washed away. So, like, there's just clumps of filth built up in the crevices of the razor. So, like, you have to, like, what I do is, like, I have a toothbrush, and I don't get it mixed up with my other toothbrush. Don't worry. Like, this one stays under the sink. But, like, I will, like, take it, rinse it, let it soak in alcohol for a while to really get it clean, and then I'll take the toothbrush to it and kind of scrub it, and then put it in peroxide for a little while to get it clean and sanitized, and I'll do the same thing again, and yeah. Anyway, so it's long story short, long overdue to get a new safety razor. I did absolutely no research and wound up with this.
All right, let's check out this bad boy. That looks tactical.
Now, okay, yes, it does look very tactical. Now, it has a knob. Technically, it has 2 knobs, right?
Yeah. What is that about?
It has 2 knobs. The knob at the very bottom that is red, that is what you would, I'm assuming, twist to, if it's like every other safety razor ever. That's what opens the part at the top to put the razor in. And then, I don't know what the second knob is, but,
maybe angle?
I'm a man of affluence and taste and disposable income. So you know what? If my razor to have 2 knobs, my razor's going to have 2 knobs.
Yeah. So just to let everyone know, this is a $60. It's called the $60 safety razor. It's called the Vikings Blade, the Emperor Meiji adjustable safety razor. This thing looks luxurious.
Amazon's choice.
Yeah.
And so it's $60, okay?
Yeah.
Now, if you scroll down just a little bit, you can see that like your razor for the common folk are between $25 and $40 on average. There's a couple cheaper ones in there.
Yeah, those are 50 packs though, right? Like those are there's a lot of razors in there.
Well, no. I'm talking about the other safety razors on the page.
Oh, the other safety razors.
Yeah,
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like like the Harry's blades and stuff, like those are disposable.
Yeah.
And they're like the handle's what you pay for, and then you're gonna pay like $80 for cartridges. But anyway, so this apparently comes with the safety razor handle, a carrying case because I travel so much, and let's see here, a hefty short handle. Oh boy, they really SEO'd this up. Great and meaningful for all occasions: Christmas, Father's Day, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, because you want to get your junk clean for Valentine's Day. Does this come with razor blades though? I wasn't. Oh, please buy your double. Well, hold on. Please buy your double edge blades separately to see which brand. No blade provided, as blade suitability is subjective and highly personal. So this looks like a lie. Doesn't look like it comes with any blades. So this is a false listing. Anyway, so that's what I ordered, and I'll have a review. Nice. So here's the thing, right? Because I'm a shower shaver, I have a nice shower mirror that has a place to put my razor. And it's basically suspended, I don't know, 5.5, 6 feet up in my shower. It's taller than me, and I'm pretty short. So it's up there in the shower, and this thing kind of hangs from it. And I want a good durable razor, because if it falls, like it's not gonna break. Like the razor I have now, like one of the flaps for like the top part did pop off, but like you just pop that right back on there. Like it didn't break. It's not plastic. So I want something kind of durable, and the handle on this looks pretty good. I'm sort of excited to try it. I don't know if it's going to be worth $60 when it's all said and done, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, but for something you use every day, I mean, you can splurge. Like
well,
there's no reason why you shouldn't.
This has passed all of our QC standards.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah, this razor has 2 symmetrical burrs on the door corners, which slightly bow and bend the blade. Not a defect. Not a defect. Boy, I should have read this a little closer. Beginning to think, what does the second knob do? I'm still very unclear.
Yeah, I want to know what the second knob does. Maybe there's some answers in the reviews, or in the answer question. Maybe there should be like an Amazon question. What does the knob do? Have the quality control issues regarding the blade not sitting flat been addressed? Not a defect. Read the description. I can answer. I'm gonna put an answer there. Read the description.
Let's see here. What's the purpose of the non-matching safety bars? See more answered questions. Where are they made? Oh no. Will it fit on a razor stand? See more answered questions. The adjustment wheel doesn't seem to line up on the razor I received. It starts at 1.5 and ends back around at 1. Yes, perfectly normal. This is a continuously adjustable razor. Okay. Will the matte coating come off? Where is it made? Man, people have a real hair up their ass about where this razor is made.
Is it made in the United States?
It's made in Australia, apparently.
Oh,
I think they're basically looking for white people made this. I think that's what they're trying to ask without asking it, right? Like,
yeah. I think you're right.
It's a little too on the nose.
It's probably the same crowd that when I was looking for denim jackets on Amazon, they were really concerned about how their gun fit in the concealed pockets.
Was that really?
Oh yeah.
Was there like a gun sizing chart? Because that would be the most American thing I could think of.
Yes.
Shut up.
A lot of them would show you like what the gun, where the gun would go inside of the denim vest. Yeah.
Big yikes. Yikes.
Yeah, big yikes. Yep. Like, maybe I don't need a denim vest after all. And then you bought me one.
Yeah. Well, you needed a place to keep your gun, clearly.
Clearly.
All right. So let's get to the big news this week. For all fun that was, let's get to the big news this week. So you sent me a electronic message You sent me an electronic message this week, and the message was thus: "Hey, I'm decided."
Exclamation point.
Hey! Exclamation point! Winky face. I'm decided I want to run another D&D game, and since you took part in my last game, I wanted to give you first chance at playing. There is absolutely no pressure to join. I've written a pitch document with my with my ideas, which you can read here, and I didn't read because
Okay.
Listen, Paul, I love you, buddy. I do. But you're not selling me your budget for next year, Mr. Middle Management. You don't need to convince me to play D&D.
do.
You don't.
I do.
You don't.
Well, I needed to convince myself. That's what I wanted to do, and that's really where the pitch document came out of. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But you're in, right? I mean,
yeah.
You're in, right? Like this is a thing that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And if I can count you in, I would love that very much.
Yes. It was ever going to be a choice.
Okay. All right. I'm glad to hear that.
Okay. All right. Okay. Good. Okay, We're on the same page.
But I took a journey for this. I took a very long journey for this.
Okay.
So I don't know. When did our last campaign end?
Like 2 months.
Yeah. Like about 2 months. 2 months ago. July 3rd. July 3rd. There it was. There it is. July 3rd.
So almost 2 months.
Almost 2 months. Yep. The last game I ran a pre-published Wizards of the Coast adventure, The Curse of Strahd, and it was good. It was fine. I had a good time running it. I think everyone had a good time playing it. At least no one told me otherwise. But I've always enjoyed running my.
Oh no!
Oh no!
I'm skimming your pitch document, and I got to the section labeled safety.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm in.
Okay. All right. So
I'm in.
That is probably a topic for another time. It's
yeah. Let's hold that.
Yeah.
Let's hold that.
Let's hold that. I wanted to run something myself, right? And we had talked, at the end of the last game, we had talked about maybe playing something different. And both you and I loved the Shadowrun setting, right? So that's where I started. I started rereading some of the 5th edition rule books for Shadowrun, and I absolutely love the setting. But gosh darn it, those rules have problems. And I kind of had an epiphany. Is the older I'm getting, the less tolerance I'm having for big, heavy, lots of rules, lots of crunch, tabletop RPGs. And honestly, I think the industry has kind of moved away from those. There's a lot of more rules light games out there. It seems to be more and more games are focused on storytelling and less on with all of my gear I get a +3 modifier in these certain conditions, and I definitely feel that as well. I'm reading the rules for Shadowrun 5th edition. I'm just I can't do this again. I can't.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So my little brain went 6th edition is supposed to be, a little lighter on the rules and a little more easier to approach. And I know people have said the rules aren't pretty good, but you can make up your own opinion. So I started reading those rules again. And I mean, yes, there are less rules. It is, quote unquote, easier for newcomers. But everything in that book is bad. Everything. It's just awful. It's like someone described a tabletop RPG on a bad phone connection. And then someone hastily wrote down notes in crayon and then made an RPG off of that. It's awful. It's just so it may be the worst. And I mean, I've played some pretty weird games, anything from Palladium games. Some of those systems they're not balanced. They're just broken. This is far worse. This is the worst thing I've ever experienced. So my brain was well, you know what? There's other games in the cyberpunk genre, so why don't you explore some of those? So I looked at Cyberpunk 2020 again. One more thing. I really wanted a a game that if people wanted to buy the physical books, they could, right? Because some people really enjoy that. Shadowrun 5th edition, they're out of print, and like the prices have skyrocketed. Like I think you probably can't get a core rule book for like less than like $150. Like they're just not, like, they don't exist anymore. So I started to look at Cyberpunk 2020, which is an older game as well, and it has a lot of the same fallacies as Shadowrun. It's kind of clunky. It's it's a very old. It's an old game. So I kind of put that off to the side. So one that I felt had lots and lots of promise is called Android Shadows of the Beanstalk. Now, do you know anything about this game, Drew?
Well, we're both tangentially associated with this universe because we both enjoy playing Netrunner.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is. It is set in the same universe as the Netrunner card game, which is fantastic.
Yep.
So this game has had a lot of promise. The setting was pretty good. It was, I still think Shadowrun has a few edges on some stuff, but it was really good. It had that like dark cyberpunk kind of feel that I was really going for. And it has a very interesting mechanic where like you roll a bunch of dice and like you build a dice pool, and some of the dice are good and some of the dice are bad. And you roll them all and you kind of look at all and you kind of like, like the good, if you have more good results than bad results, good things happen, but a complication could occur. And it had a lot of promise. But it's Fantasy Flight, so all the dice are custom. They're all custom dice. And Android Shadows of the Beanstalk uses the Genesis system, which is almost the same system they use for their Star Wars role-playing games as well, which again uses custom dice. And I'm like, I don't want like custom dice. And I started looking about, because obviously this is going to be virtual, so what would it look like to roll these dice in in a virtual tabletop? And there was some solutions, and none of them were really great. So back to a game that I had purchased a long time ago because I heard about it on a podcast, and eventually I still want to run this game. It's called Scum and Villainy, and it uses the same rules as another very popular fantasy game called Blades in the Dark. And the notion of Scum and Villainy is like your characters are either bounty hunters or smugglers. It's set in a sci-fi setting. You're all crew on a ship. And one of the interesting mechanics that these games has is only the players roll dice. And depending on the dice, good or bad things can happen. Complications can happen. I still really enjoy it. I think eventually I want to play this game, but it just didn't have that kind of, it didn't feel right. So I looked at other things like games powered by the apocalypse, which is a very popular thing today. There's a kind of cyberpunky game called The Sprawl. I started reading those books and I just could not get into them for the life of me. And then something happened. And then something came in the mail. It's a beautiful, absolutely beautiful book. So now I know like D&D is not necessarily your number one RPG, so you probably don't keep track of all the wheelings and dealings of Dungeons and Dragons. But have you ever heard of a Dungeons and Dragons setting called Eberron?
I've heard of it. I've never played a game in it. Okay,
so Eberron was what happened was back in the like third and a half edition games. When Dungeons & Dragons was third edition, third and a half edition, they had a contest where basically it's like, hey, send us your best pitch document for a setting. We'll pick one of them and we'll work with you and we'll make it real. Mm-hmm. And Eberron is the setting that won that contest. It's the brainchild of one Keith Baker. He's a game designer. If you remember, like the card game Gloom, that card game, he designed that as well. So his idea for Eberron was essentially like, okay, we take this fantasy setting, right? And there's magic and there's monsters and weird things like that. What would life actually be like in a world like that? So Eberron kind of takes D&D and kind of twists it a little bit. Like everything, all your standard like dragons and goblins and orcs and dwarves and elves, like they all have a place in Eberron, but it's not your typical high fantasy setting, right? The goblins were the original like conquerors of the world, and they sacrificed a civilization to fight back, like essentially an invasion from another plane. Orcs aren't necessarily evil. In fact, they were the founders of like the druid tradition. And it makes like, instead of science, Eberron uses magic. So like, ever burning lanterns light the street at night. You might ride a lightning rail to get between places, right? Basically a train powered by bound elementals. But that's also what's really cool is in Eberron, the setting is basically, okay, this 100-year war raged. Essentially, there was a big like kerfuffle about who was going to be the next king, and everybody started revolting, and everyone broke into their own countries and fought each other for literally 100 years. And then one day, one of the major countries, it just blew up. Like everything that was inside the borders of that country died. Everything was gone. And then that everyone stop and go, holy crap, what was that? Maybe we should stop fighting in case this happens to us. And that's Eberron. It has a lot of the same kind of like essence that I really enjoy about like the cyberpunk genre. There's these dragon marked houses that have a monopoly on certain aspects of magic, and they use it for power and money. It's very, it takes inspiration from like noir themes. So it's dark. There is no like good or evil. Everything's kind of a shade of gray. And what had happened was, because of there's this wonderful website. It's kind of a spawn of DriveThruRPG, which is like if you're looking to buy PDFs of like tabletop RPG stuff, it's the where to go. And they kind of have a subsite called DM's Guild, which is simply focused on Dungeons and Dragons. And Wizards of the Coast has basically opened it up and saying like, hey, like if you want to write your own adventures or modules or expansions in any of our published settings, you have full right to do so. In fact, here's a bunch of artwork assets you could use that, our artists drew, and, which is very interesting because it allows Keith Baker, the founder of the setting, to publish his own material in his own game world, right? So there's official source books, right? It's called Eberron, Shadows of the Last War. He just wrote a book called Exploring Eberron, which kind of like explores some of the parts of Eberron that he hasn't got to cover in an official source book before. I got the print edition, so certain books you can not just get the PDF from these sites. You can actually order a on-demand printed book. The book is absolutely beautiful. And I started going through this again. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I really, really love this setting. And I started having ideas. And about a week and a half ago, I finally made the mental commitment of, hey, I'm going to run something. So then I started making preparations.
Okay.
And one of those is picking a virtual tabletop, right? In my last game, we used Roll20, and it was fine. It was fine.
It was adequate.
It was adequate. We had lots of performance issues. It really felt like anytime you wanted to roll dice, especially when we played, which was like Friday evening, like it could take like 5 to 10 seconds to see the results of that dice roll. And that's just very jarring. So I started looking at alternatives. I eventually settled on this application called Foundry VTT. Now, the interesting thing about Foundry, it's written by one guy. It comes in like multiple flavors, right? It's all written in like Node, so it's all JavaScript. You can either run it on your desktop as like an Electron app and like open up a bunch of ports on your like router and have people connect to your computer directly, or you can host it yourself on a server. And it's a one-time fee. You pay $50 and you get a license to basically run one Foundry VTT anywhere you want. And since you could host it yourself, I'm like, well, you know what? I'm someone who knows how to host things on servers. So I set it up on. I spun up a server. I installed it there. Considering that it's written by one guy, it is extremely good. And plus, like, you're not sharing resources. It's not very resource intensive anyway. And the fact that like, your server's only hosting, the 5 or 6 people in your game, I don't think performance is going to be an issue at all. But the amazing thing about Foundry is how open it is. So essentially, it's like Foundry itself provides, very basic functionality, character sheets and maps and dice rolling and, being able to draw things like draw shapes on the screen and chat to everybody. But he has this module system where people can write custom modules, and they can be as anything from like, tweaking the chat so every player has its own unique colored border, to like really deep integration with other pieces of software. So like one of the pieces of software I like to use for Dungeons and Dragons is called D&D Beyond. It's great. It has all the source books. You can create characters. Where there's a couple of modules in there. One, you can like import your character right in there and have all the functionality. There's another module that allows you to basically do dice rolls into Foundry from D&D Beyond. There's stuff that makes combat more streamlined and better. There's just so many different modules. So you really can like, pull your chair up to this buffet of options and really tweak how you want the software to run. And I've just honestly been absolutely impressed with it. It's really good. I don't think we're going to have the same performance issues as we had before. It has all the same features that Roll20 has. Some of them I think are implemented even better. A lot of them are implemented even better. I think it's going to be a really good choice, and yeah, I'm excited. I've literally been monologuing here for like 15 minutes.
No, it's good. I think it's going to work out. I was looking at some of these links before the show, and yeah, that Node one looks really good. You should probably host it in Azure though. Just going to put that out there.
I did not host it in Azure. I'm a DigitalOcean guy. Always have been. Always will be.
I get it.
And dude, like I'm running it on like a really like.
It's Node.
I wasn't
right?
sure.
Like...
Yeah, it. And I've had a couple of people like try it out just because kind of going to see what the performance was like. Like it. I've thrown lots of thing at it, and the server's like, whatever. Like, under the covers, it just uses WebSockets, so like it syncs the state between all of them. All the clients. Like it's pretty slick, and like the thing I'm excited about, like if I do have performance problems, I can look at the server, see what the bottleneck is, and fix it. Like I'm not dependent on like another company hosting this for me. I mean, and there's I believe it's called the Forge. Like if you don't want to host Foundry VTT yourself, you can pay them like $5 a month and they'll host it for you. It's like bring your own license kind of thing. But like I can run my own server. So
what could it be?
It's honestly not that. It was actually honestly it's a a Node application, you keep it running, you put an Nginx proxy in front of it, you use certbot to use Let's Encrypt to get your your TLS certificates, and then you're done. That's it. You're done.
Yeah. No, pretty good. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, listen, I had it was a lot of fun playing D&D last go around. Running your own kind of deal will be good. But the question I have to ask is, can we use our characters from the last campaign?
No, we're going to start over. No. You can make a very similar character.
I'm going to make the exact same character.
That's fine. So honestly, one of basically the idea I have, which is kind of in the pitch, is the notion of like a group patron, right? All the parties kind of either belong or work for some sort of organization. It kind of gives the characters like a shared, a kind of a little bit of a shared background. It gives me a way to introduce plot. So I don't have a decision for what we want to do there. So I'm kind of leaving it up for the players to kind of decide. A couple of them I found a little bit more interesting. I mentioned them in the document. One of them is the patron would be a criminal organization, and the example they give is in Eberron, it's this crime organization called the Boromir Clan, and it's basically the Halfling Mafia.
Okay. Cool. I mean, sold.
So that's one of the ideas I have. But I kind of want everyone to kind of get together and discuss what kind of game they want to play and go from there. I could talk about this kind of crap forever. I have a new session prep regiment that I'm going to start following. I'm excited to kind of get back in the saddle and run another game.
Yeah, the only other thing I was going to
happy.
The only other thing I was going to ask you, and you don't have to be specific here, but is it the same player count we had last time, or slightly more?
I'm going to add one more player.
Okay.
I didn't know. I mean, conditions change. Like people are busy, so like. I thought 4 to 5 players. I'm like, you know what? The first things first, I'm going to offer to the players that offered in my last game. With you saying yes, all 4 of them have accepted.
Oh, okay, good.
Yep. And I think I'm gonna add one more.
Okay.
I think I want 5.
Okay.
But no more than 5. No more than 5.
And I'm assuming I know this person.
You do. Yes.
Or they haven't been identified yet.
Well, they haven't accepted yet, so their identity remains a mystery.
Okay. Well, I like surprises. I don't.
Yep.
But
yep.
Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, I think 5. I think 5's a sweet spot.
Yeah, I'm 5. I'm gonna try 5. We'll see how it goes.
All right. Well, I'm in. I mean,
excellent.
I didn't reply to your text just because I was like, is he really asking? Because. Like, why would I
don't want to assume anything. Like,
I get it.
People are busy, and it is a time commitment, and like I didn't want to assume.
You're sort of hitting it right at the right time to get started because, we'll talk more about this on the next topic here, but like we're getting to fall. I mean, we are lurching towards fall in Ohio, and there's not a lot to do outside. So, and.
Nerd stuff.
It's not like people are going to be going to concerts.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. I got it. Well, so not to cut you off, but that's awesome. No. Obviously, I'm 100% in. I had a blast last time. And I think part of the joy last time was kind of exploring the whole online option that we used because I had never done that before. So I'm anxious to try the new stuff here too. So I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
Okay. One last topic before we call this an episode. So, boy. All right. So, Paul, how you sleeping at night?
On a mattress with some sheets and some blankets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not asking about the technical aspects of your sleep yet.
Okay.
Are you sleeping okay?
Some nights I sleep like absolute shit. Some nights I don't. It goes on. It goes back and forth sometimes. Yeah.
So I've not been sleeping good. I've not been
Okay.
sleeping good for reasons. And I think it's equal parts. I've got a lot on my mind these days. And we're, like I said, like literally 30 seconds ago, we're in that weird period of time in Ohio that is somehow the hottest before it's going to be the coldest.
Yes.
Like, it's August and September are very, very hot months in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, listen, I live in a house with air conditioning. We run it. But just at night, I mean, if I could set my thermostat to like 62, you know, I would if my air conditioner explode and or I didn't go broke first, because that would be a hell of a thing to try to keep at 62, right? Anyway, I don't know, like I just haven't been sleeping that great, and I'm looking for ways to I'll steal it right from the doc here, kind of pimp my sleep.
Okay.
Now I don't think I'm going to get good sleep until I deal with like the mental issues that are keeping me awake at night. But at the same time, over my years, I have definitely come to almost rely on certain things to put me to sleep. And, you know, growing up in a house that didn't have air conditioning and staying in dorms that didn't have air conditioning, I came to rely on a fan running all the time to not only keep me cool at night, but to also help lull me to sleep. Like, that noise of the fan, I think, is what ultimately causes me to pass out. And, like, in the wintertime, you know, when it's cold outside, I don't run a fan. But I do have an air purifier that it doesn't really purify the air. It just gives me that noise. So I've been doing some research, and I didn't put any links in here because I wanted to get like real-time reactions from you. But I've been doing research, and I've been relying on our old friend the Wirecutter for some recommendations on some things I could do to maybe pimp my sleep. Now, some of these I don't necessarily buy into as much as the others, but the first one I have on my list here is, because we're going to be getting to the colder season here, one thing I've always wanted to get is a weighted blanket. Do you use one?
My wife bought me one a while ago as kind of a gift, kind of try. So here's my weighted blanket story. Okay. Right. So obviously there is some sort of weight inside the blanket to make it a weighted blanket.
Right.
A lot of them use like kind of like a dense like plastic bead. Okay. Like lots of them. Some of the high end ones actually use like, you know, little weights kind of woven in, but majority of them use like this plastic bead. The couple of nights that I used it, I really did enjoy it. But we have cats.
Okay.
And the cats put just big enough holes in the blankets with their claws, and it was like sleeping on the beach.
Okay. All right.
It was just shedding these beads everywhere. From the time I you would wash you get rid of the weighted blanket, you'd wash everything else, and like for weeks I was still finding these little beads like in the bed. It was absolutely awful. So I just think, like, if you're going to get a weighted blanket, just be aware pets have claws. I don't know if Rocky sleeps with you or is on your bed at all. And obviously dogs, I don't think dogs' claws are quite the sharpness of a cat's claw. But just be aware of that problem.
Okay. Good to know.
Yes.
Good to know. And I'm not at the point where I need a weighted blanket yet, but it's one of those things that I've always sort of wanted to try, because when it gets cold, I really like to get under a good blanket.
Me too.
Either when I'm sleeping on the couch or even sleeping in the bed. But the other thing I've been looking at is getting a new bedroom fan.
Okay.
So I got another link in here that shows some of these different fan options, and I have something similar to what the Wirecutter recommends. Like, they recommend this Fornado. I think that's how the brand is said. Kind of like, you know, oscillating fan, or it's not even an oscillating fan. It's literally just like it's just something that moves a lot of air. And like you've been to my house. It's not a very big house. My rooms are not very big, but the noise of the fan coupled with a slight breeze blowing over my like face and upper body is what really knocks me out. And we have a fan in the bedroom now. We also have a ceiling fan, but just getting like a better fan I think is also on my list. I don't know. Are you sleep with a fan person?
I turn the ceiling fan on.
Now here's the thing though. Here's the thing about the ceiling fan. The ceiling fan in my bedroom is probably as old as I am.
Oh.
So it rattles. If you turn it up too high, it's the wrong kind of noise that I need for sleeping. Because it sounds like a garbage truck full of like forks and spoons rattling down a gravel road, and I don't want that when I'm sleeping. So the answer is get a new ceiling fan.
Ours are really quiet. Yeah.
Yeah. The answer is get a new ceiling fan. But
I sleep better with absolutely no noise. If it is absolutely dead silent, or rain, I can sleep when there's rain. But if it's like dead silent, not a noise, I can fall asleep like boom, like that. So
the ultimate for me is it's late September, early October. It's cold. It's cooler out. It's not cold. It's cooler out. It's rainy, and I have the windows open. So there's a cool breeze with rain outside coming in, and I have Rocky next to me. I'll sleep for days, right? But it's in these like weird doldrum months where it's like really hot and really humid in Ohio, even though it's not so much in the house. Yeah. This time of year is just hell on my sleep. And I'm just trying to find different ways of doing it. Now, the other two things I have on my list here is the next one I have here is like a noise generator. So I don't own a white noise generator per se. So if you have Jeff Bezos's Dingus line of utilities in your home, I think you could ask the Dingus to play some white noise or play some background noise, and it will.
Can you?
I think so.
Alexa,
I feel like
play
I've done
white
that.
Noise.
Oh, I see you ruined it.
Yes. It's also playing music. Alexa, stop.
Yeah. What if you ask it to play rain sounds?
Alexa, play rain sounds.
Oh, is that an actual song?
Oh no, it sounds like rain.
Okay. Yeah, so the Dingus can make noise. The Dingus can make noise.
Alexa, stop.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, everybody. Leave that in, by the way. I want everybody. I want everybody's devices going crazy, even mine. When I listen to this, yeah. So I've toyed with the idea of getting like an honest to goodness, like sometimes they call them dream machines, sometimes they call them actual white noise generators to drown out some of the noise. But what I usually do, so the sleeping arrangements in my house. So obviously my wife and I, we sleep together. We've been married long enough that we don't hate each other enough yet to get separate beds. But I sleep at the foot of the bed because that's where the fan is when it's hot.
Oh. Okay.
So like I sleep facing the fan and she sleeps facing the other way. Now when it gets cold, we both go under the covers. But like when it's hot like this, I don't sleep under the covers. So because I'm at the other end of the bed, I could have my phone down there and I can like play rain sounds that I can hear just enough over the sound of the fan. Or I'll listen to something while I'm falling asleep, and that usually helps me as well. But the other thing I'm also toying with doing is getting a set of blackout curtains, because the way my neighborhood is, the house next to me, they have their lamp in front of their house, but our bedroom faces that way. Mm-hmm. And even with the curtains we have now, just enough light comes in, so I'm thinking about investing in a good set of blackout curtains as well.
See, I would love to do that, but we just have blinds in our windows, and my wife so far has been really resilient for any type of curtain in this house at all.
What's the holdup?
I wish I could tell you.
Is it just because you have to vacuum and wash them, and they're just bigger maintenance, or?
I think just a big part of it is the way our windows are. We'd have to like like we couldn't use like a tension rod or anything, but actually have to like install like curtains. And I think that's just more than she wants to deal with.
I get you. No, I get you. Yeah, no, that curtain life is way different than blind life. I will say that.
We get lots of, some of our windows face the streets, and those bedrooms get street lights. The ones in the back face other people's houses, and we get like their, there's lots of light pollution.
Well,
we live very close to other people. And I would love it to be completely dark and completely silent, like a grave.
Well, everything makes sense when we start thinking of this in terms of your music choices. But here's the thing, though, for you, right? Mm-hmm. I'm assuming that you can't just have one window with curtains, right?
Right.
So, like, getting a set of blackout curtains for your bedroom almost facilitates getting curtains for all the other windows in your house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, like,
yes.
there's
it's a project.
That. Yeah. It turns into a project very quickly. Now, in our house, we have curtains in both of the bedrooms, but our front living room doesn't have any curtains. We have curtains on our patio door, but the two other windows in our living room don't have curtains. I'm actually looking to change that because I would love to get rid of the blinds, because the blinds we have in our house are just old. They're like, I don't know how it happens, but like every once in a while I'll leave my house, and as I'm backing out of my driveway, I'll notice one of the blind slats is like turned. You know what I mean? And like, I didn't do it, and I don't think my wife is devious enough to do that to me, because it just drives me insane. Right? But like, yeah, I would love to get rid of our blinds. The dream would be, if I don't think I'll be in my house long enough to do this, but if I ever need to replace my windows again, I want to get the ones that are built into the windows.
Yes, that would be so nice.
They're really expensive, though. Like, really expensive.
I have a door, our back door in the house. We had we had a big chunk of it cut out. We had a window installed that has the blinds inside of it, and it is nice. Yeah.
And the other thing is that we have curtains and blinds on any window that Rocky can see out of.
Mm-hmm.
Because he loves to talk to everybody. Loves to talk to everybody.
He's got to keep you safe.
Yeah, he's doing us a favor.
Yeah.
I wish he would do less of it.
Yeah. We usually leave one of the doors, like one of the windows in our living room. We kind of have like a little like stool and like a pet bed on top of it, and we usually leave that window open, so like the cats and mostly our dogs kind of sit in there and get a good view of the outside and can bark at things and generally live their best lives. But yeah, I get that you make accommodations for your pets, and that includes leaving your blinds open.
Yeah, totally. Oh man, what an episode! We went on a big tour here.
I have one question, one more thing that you might want to consider trying.
Okay.
Have you tried meditation?
I used to be a big meditator.
Okay.
I don't do it anymore. This was something I did. I started doing it like my senior year of college because I was going through some tough stuff, and then I did it when I was in Ohio. There used to be a TDM or transcendental meditation thing at the rec center over here.
Okay.
And I used to go to that a long time ago. And I'll be honest, man, like now that you mention it, like I'm pretty sure I could like sit down and like do some meditation and try to like clear my mind. And the other thing I had on my list here is maybe I just need to go back into therapy. Like maybe I need to like actually get back in and talk to somebody. Like I feel like that has a lot to do with it too.
Yeah, I've been out of therapy for longer than I probably should be as well. So yeah, work through them issues.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm willing to bet that that's a pretty big part of it. Cool.
An hour. We're talking for an hour. 1 hour.
We did it.
We did it.
We did it.
High
somehow, somehow we still continue to do this. Are we good at this? I think we're good at this.
I mean, I'm good at a lot of things, and I think this is one of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not good at a lot of things, but this might be one of them.
Oh.
All right, tell people where they can find us.
Hey, as always, you can find us on the internet at doingtheirbest.com. You can send us an email through there. You can reach out to us on Twitter. Doing Best Pod there. I'm on Twitter at Paul Baylor. That's BAHLER. Drew's on Twitter too. Where can we find you, Drew?
I'm on Twitter at Pittsburgh, PITTFURG. And once I get my set of headphones tomorrow, recording this on a Thursday, assuming they show up tomorrow, I will probably be wearing them and tweeting about them.
Yeah, they are scheduled for delivery for tomorrow. So
man. I'm excited. My Friday just got way better.
Yeah, they're being shipped via Amazon. So whenever your Amazon person comes.
Like our Amazon people come in like one of three types of trucks: either a rented Penske, a van that has like some made up delivery company's name on it, or an actual Amazon van. Mm-hmm. That's what we get.
It's never consistent either. It's always like today's the Amazon van, today's just some generic white panel van.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm. All right, Drew.
All right. Until next time.